property. Mwalimu, I have a surprise for you.
Yeah.
Before I can maybe get your closing remarks.
Okay.
We do have a very small, game here that we do to break the, to break that flow of events.
Yes.
So we'll mark it against each other. I know when Mwalimu, I can assure you, seen a leakage. But let's see how I fare against you, right? So we're going to be given a few questions there and then run them against the timer and then mark them against each other and see, right?
Okay.
How many 50 cents are in 1,000 shilling note? We have 10 seconds. How many 50 cents are in 1,000 shilling note? Okay. Next question, who's the current CEO of Safaricom? Right. Apart from Bill Gates, who else founded Microsoft? What? Right. Question number 4, what does NHIF stand for? Which is the largest desert in Africa? Is it desert or desert? All right. Next question. When was KUTV established? Come on, guys. Oh, man. Putting my job on the spot here. If I get it wrong, Mwalimu, don't say. What is the exchange rate of $1 in Kenya? All right, next, how many zeros are in a billion? Just write the billion, right? All right, that's the end of our question session. Let's just exchange. Those are 8 questions. Mwalimu, time's up. Pens down, pens down.
I'm done.
All right, let's see. First question was, how many 50 cents go in 1,000 shilling note? How many are they? 30,000? 2,000? All right, 2,000. Second question, CEO of Safaricom, that is Peter Ndegwa. Apart from Bill Gates, who else founded Microsoft? Who is it?
No idea.
Paul Allen. I thought that's Google. Oh, man, come on. All right. Question number 4. NHIF stands for National Health Insurance Fund. The largest, that is National Health Insurance Fund. There are scandals there. You can submit your memoranda to Parliament on questionable dealings at NHIF by Friday. So that's information for you. The largest desert in Africa should be the Sahara Desert. When was KUTV established? That should be 2015.
Oh, you beat me
Sir,
on that one.
My job is intact. How many zeros are in... Sorry, what is the exchange rate of $1 in Kenya? As of yesterday, 141. Oh, we both wrote 145.
Yeah, it should be.
So we have outdated information. Okay, 141. How many zeros are in a billion? Okay, amesema tunaweza pata hiyo 145. We are within the range, yeah? Okay, how many zeros are in a billion?
That is 9.
Mwalimu just wrote the billion. I wrote 9, so do you get it? Does he get it? Okay, yes. All right. Right, so he has 5. Let's see if the student has become the teacher. I have 7 out of 8.
Sometimes the students beat the teacher. You have a
Clearly.
7
I have a 7 out of 8. That's an A+. Asante sana Mwalimu.
Thank
For also even playing this
Thank
game
you.
with us. If you're at home and you did it, please tell us what you got as a score for yourself. There's much more happening here that we could have spoken about. I know there was that issue of the teenage crisis as well. We were supposed to speak about the Finance Act, but I'm seeing here 9:44 in the morning time. Is already not on our side. So if you want to get more of what has been developing in the papers this morning, get yourself a copy for 60 shillings for the physical copy, and I think 20 for the e-paper. Earlier, you'd also talked about, external forces which are controlling the expenditure in the government. And here with the Business Daily that you have, if I can pull it up just real quick for my final remark before I get yours. You can read on page 14 of the markets in the Business Daily today where a US fund is going to build 5,000 of those affordable homes, the housing levy that we keep speaking about, affordable homes. But it seems it's a US-owned South African asset manager that is going to develop these affordable houses in Kenya. The IFC is set to make an equity investment of 2 billion in this firm that is going to be constructing these affordable houses. How you interpret this is something I'd love to hear on our social channels. Mwalimu,
Yes.
your final remark.
Okay, thank you once again, Richard, for this opportunity. And again, thank you to the KUTV fraternity for always giving us an opportunity as young people in this country to become a voice to the voiceless. As I conclude, I would like to mention something that has to do with the external influence in the government, because we have a regime that came in with saying that they will not borrow, but today, as we speak, the government has borrowed more than 1.2 trillion. And where are these loans coming from? The loans are coming from the IMF and those Western powers. It can only indicate one thing, that this regime is being controlled from the outside, and the government has no choice but to bend. And you also saw the other day when the Supreme Court allowed the LGBTQ. That is a pointer that things are wrong in the country, and the president and the leaders are not themselves. Now, for the issue of loans, remember that these loans are quite expensive, and the people who are to service those loans are we, the ordinary citizens. And therefore, we are pleading with the people out there to come out in large numbers on Wednesday, or on Thursday, and on Friday to put a stop to some of these things. Lastly, I would like to mention something about Kinyua County, because it is a county which is so dear to me, as where I come from. You mentioned something, an initiative by the county government, and there are some areas within Kinyua, particularly in Kabare, which have been forgotten, and I would like to mention in specific the Mokarara market. It is a market which started a long time ago, but it has completely been neglected. And therefore, I'm urging the county government to come in and move in with speed, and try to do a facelift, and try to modernize the kiosks that are there, try to bring in some social amenities, the water, the toilets, and the lights.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you. We'd like to close up this newspaper review section at this point. Thank you very much for joining us on KUTV here with Mwalimu Kinyua Njuguna, who is hailing from Kirinyaga, as you've heard there at the very end, and giving us his view on the state of the nation and what has been happening so far and what we can expect in the coming few days. Let's take a look at the cartoons that have been there today so that we can wrap that up. Mwalimu, you can tell me your interpretation as they show it up on the screen, as they exit as out. Page 17 of the Daily Nation is where you get Ndula's very interesting piece there. You can see it on your screen.
Yes.
Azimio Okay, there with his matchbox head, and the Kenya Kwanza with his matchbox head.
Yes.
And it seems like a matchstick fight, but then the fuel, whose price is going up, is also highlighted there. What do you make what's your interpretation of this?
First of all, basically the matchstick, their purpose is to light fire. And these matchstick, we can see they are being represented on both sides of the political divide. We have the Azimio and the Kenya Kwanza. And they are making an attempt. They have not yet lit the fire, but they are making an attempt. And definitely below the two matchsticks, you can see there is a fuel. There's a fuel container there.
A lot of fuel there.
And that means we are likely to explode as a country. I don't know whether it is like the submarine or the Titanic that we had an implosion. I don't know whether this country is going to have an implosion or an explosion.
But hopefully not.
But we still have enough time and opportunity to remedy, and we continue to urge our leaders, the topmost leaders, that is President Ruto and former Prime Minister, to get off their high horses and listen to what Kenyans are telling them. And they should not listen to what their cronies are telling them.
Right. Just maybe real quick, we show up Gado, and then we take that very quick break. Gado on the Standard. I'm told it's not Gado, it's Gamzo actually. Very interesting piece here is put up on the Standard, and it shows police officer beating down a normal Kenyan who's saying haki yetu, and on the right there is a police officer guarding a politician who's carrying loot. So there's the right to picket, but you're beaten up.
Yes.
Then there's the might to pocket,
Yes.
where you're guarded as you are doing that. Interpret it for yourself and let us know what your thoughts are. But asante sana Mwalimu for creating the time for us this morning.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure coming here at KUTV.
Okay.
Yes.
That's the cartoon there. Let's take the break as you take a look at it, and then I'll be back with your feedback and closing up the show.